In today's video, we're going to talk about how to improve my life. Maybe you feel like you're stuck right now, or maybe you felt like that at some point in your career. And there have been times in my life where I felt like, man, I'm trying everything that I can, but for one reason or another, I just feel like I wasn't advancing in that moment. And in those moments, here's an important concept that I want you to remember. Small tweaks lead to giant peaks. Again, let me say that again. Small tweaks lead to giant peaks. Let's talk about it. Welcome to another episode of Career Strategies. My name is Rodney Hughes, Mr. 100%, and the purpose of my channel is to teach you strategies that can help you advance your career. So if that's something you're interested in learning more about, smash that subscribe button, join the family, and don't forget to hit that little bell icon so you don't end up missing out on any of this extremely valuable content. Okay, so let's talk about it again. The subject of today's video, again, is how to improve my life. And again, there can be times in your life where you just literally feel like you're stuck. It's like you're trying everything that you can, and for one reason or another, you just feel like you're not really advancing. And in those moments, I want you to always remember this. Small tweaks lead to giant peaks. So what do I mean by that? I want you to think about it like this, okay? Let's imagine that you and I were going on a journey of 100 miles, okay? And let's just say that at the very beginning of that journey, okay? Or let's just say 1,000 miles, that'd be even better. You and I are going on a journey of 1,000 miles. And at the very beginning, we're both headed the same direction, at least seemingly. But the difference is that you were, let's say, 2 degrees off, just a slight tweak. You were 2 degrees in another direction from the direction that I was going in. By the time we get to 1,000 miles, okay, you are going to be so far away from me that it's crazy, okay? And here's what I want you to understand. The reason why I'm giving you this example is that a lot of times when you're in the moment of being frustrated with whatever your situation is, sometimes it can feel like, you have to do something drastic in order to really change your situation or change your outcomes. But I want you to be careful, because I don't want you, see, what happens is that when people start to get desperate, sometimes they look to take these like wild type actions that end up sending them barreling down the path that they really don't want to go in, okay? And really the answers in those times where you feel like you're stuck is in a lot of cases, it just requires a minor tweak of some of the things that you're doing, right? As an example, so I'm an executive recruiter, but my entire career, I have mostly been a salesman, okay? And even as an executive recruiter, a large percentage of my job is selling, okay? And part of this process that I go through in selling is a prospecting approach called cold calling. And most people that have heard the expression cold calling and know what it is, it's when essentially you reach out to people that do not know you and you try to solicit them to, for business, okay? And a lot of people cringe at the idea of doing that, okay? Well, nonetheless, my whole career has been doing that, either in person or mostly over the phone, okay? And when I came into when I started selling over the phone, what I realized is that, wow, when you sell over a phone, when you reach out to somebody over a phone that you do not know, I mean, you have maybe 3 to 5 seconds to really be able to make an impression upon somebody that's strong enough to make them want to actually listen to whatever else is coming out your mouth, okay? And I can remember that I was struggling so hard at really being able to keep people on the phone. Like, I was reaching out to people and it felt like it was just brutal. Like people were hanging up in my face and yada, yada, yada. And what I came to realize, there was a guy who I was working with at that time when I first started selling over the phone. And when he and I started working in the exact same office, what I came to realize is like, wow, his style was way different than mine. And it was almost as if, like, when I was trying to use all this energy and all this crap that all this old sales crap that I learned from doing door-to-door sales, when I was trying to apply that to the telephone, it just was not working for me. And then when this guy moved into my office, I mean, it was like he was just sitting over there having just a regular conversation, not really sounding energetic at all. And it was like, next thing you know, he'd be like, okay, so let's go ahead and give me your credit card number now. And I mean, he was just knocking the sales out the park, and I couldn't understand it. And I remember there was a guy who was the principal facilitator at the company where I was at, and awesome guy. And he ended up coming to me one day, and he said, you know what, Rodney, I know what the difference is between you and this other guy now. And I was like, okay, well, what is it? And he said, when it comes to you, he said, I would like to go out and have a drink, like at a bar with you, right? But when I listen to this other guy on the phone, I would rather buy from him. And it was kind of like that emoji where the head is exploding. It was like, I was like, dude, I'm not trying to go have a drink with you, bro. Okay, even though I would have, I mean, he was a cool guy, but that wasn't the purpose of me making those calls. It wasn't to, be buddy with people. It was to make money and make money by helping people solve their problems. So I started paying attention, and what I realized was that, he was just doing slightly different things. And I ended up making just some minor tweaks at how I was approaching the process. And over the next 5 years, I ended up shattering every single public class sales goal, sales target that had ever been previously set at that company. Okay? All because I made some minor tweaks. Okay? It wasn't anything drastic that I changed, actually. Just very minor things. Right? And those minor things, those small tweaks led to giant peaks. If I showed you when I left this particular company, what my sales were compared to everybody else that was selling public classes since the beginning of the company, I mean, the next closest person was almost $1.5 million away from me. Okay. I mean, they were far away from where I was. Well, no, that's not true. They were probably about $1 million away from me, right? I sold $1 million more than the next closest person to me. Okay. And I'm not saying this to brag. The reason I'm telling you this story is because I want you to understand that what led to me getting those massive results in selling over the phone wasn't that I just did a complete overhaul of who I was and how I was approaching the process. No, I just literally made just like a couple of small little tweaks, and it ended up having a huge impact. Okay. And I became 1,000,000 times more effective. And so what I want you to understand in your career, okay, is that you have to find where are the areas where you're not really advancing. What do you have to identify and have a high degree of self-awareness to identify what are the things that you're doing that aren't working right now in this moment. And then when you identify those things, then you just need to focus on what can I do to just get a little bit better, right? That's all you gotta do. Just get a little bit better, right? Because if you can get a little bit better and you can become consistent at that small little tweak, I'm telling you, over the course of your career, it will lead to giant peaks, okay? It will lead to you accomplishing things that could possibly be outside of your wildest imagination, okay? Listen, I hope you got great value out of this video. If you did, I'd like you to order a copy of my book. Okay, The Ugly Truth About Getting Hired, How to Land the Job of Your Dreams Regardless of the Competition. It's a quick read. It'll only take you maybe 1 to 3 hours to read. And in this book, I'm going to literally walk you from point A all the way to point Z and teach you strategies, ideas, and concepts that can help you eliminate 99% of your competition so that you could position yourself as the ideal candidate of choice by the end of your interview. Okay, you're not going to find another book on the market like this book. Okay, so do me a favor, go ahead and pick up a copy of it. And when you place an order for this book, I'm going to send you the physical copy, but I'm also going to give you immediate access to the downloadable version of it, absolutely free. Okay, and the reason why is because I want you to immediately have access to this extremely valuable content. All right, so go ahead, pick that up. You can go to www.theuglytruthbook.com. Again, that's www.theuglytruthbook.com, or you can just click the link in the description area below. All right. Also, I have a free resource, 100% free, that will walk you through the process as well, that will help you prepare for the interview process. So like if you have a telephone, virtual, or face-to-face interview coming up right now and you need to get prepared for that, this is a must-have course and it's 100% free. All you got to do is go to www.interviewprepuniversity.com. Again, www.interviewprepuniversity.com. All right. Listen, thanks for checking out this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, smash that like button, drop me a comment below. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. I'll be dropping extremely valuable content on a daily basis. All right. Thanks for checking out the video. I'll see you next time.